the topic of discussion today is extremely close to my heart. As we grow, we start having goals. Okay. Uh, right from childhood, mm, we want to win in a game. Okay. We want to score in the class. After a little while, we start setting our goals that look, this is the college I want admission in, this is the job which I want to attain. And then, of course, people make their career goals. And as we get into organizations, I think the very induction process, हम जिस दिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आते हैं तो वी स्टार्ट seeing or people start telling us कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ये विजन है, this is what we want to produce, or this is this sort of a brand we want to build. So what I feel is that as individuals we always have our eyes on our goal, and as we grow up we have our eyes on the organizational goals and along with it our career goals. But in this whole process, one question that I am going to put it very strongly here is, do we have a family goal? And how clear is that family goal for our own selves? Okay, and that is our point of discussion today. Okay, I am not saying that people here do not have a goal. Okay, no, I'm not saying that. But I'm definitely saying that how clear is the focus. And second, I'm going to bring in is how shared it is between the husband and wife both. हम दोनों में वो कितना shared है, या one step ahead, is it co-created by both? Okay, I'm giving again an example that normally our personal goals are our own personal goals. Our organizational visions are created by someone and then we buy into it. But then in a family, there is a big importance of co-creating a family goal or a family vision. Okay, so आज जो मैं आप लोगों से बात करने वाला हूं वो इस पॉइंट को लेकर है. बाकी whatsoever Shani said, I only want to tell you that in this particular aspect of family visioning, my role always is of a facilitator. Okay, and when I say facilitator, I know that the vision that you will create for your own family will come out of your wisdom, it will come out of your own aspirations. I can only play a facilitative role, and that is where I am going to restrict myself, and I will be happy doing that. Okay, so a little bit about me. She said I am a backbencher, and I always say that I am a backbencher, and therefore it helps me to empathize with many of people. Okay, so I'm proud that I was a backbencher. Okay, so I was teaching for some time at the university, and after teaching for about 5 years at the university and in one of the government training institutes, my interest developed in behavioral change and how behaviors change. So considering that we were tribals before, and so anthropologically it was important to understand how we have learned behavioral change. So for about 7 years I worked with different tribes to understand how behavioral change happens. And since then, almost 95 onwards, I am freelancing. Okay, so I am a freelancer, and my work basically involves interventions with different types of organization. They could be profit or non-profit. Now, when did I take up family vision as my subject? So it is completely out of my own experience. Okay, so it is not something that I studied somewhere. It is not something that I was aspiring to do something. But not having a family vision had created a lot of vacuum in my life, or rather in our life, or in my family life. Okay, so I have learned the need and importance of family vision out of my own experience. So when a few minutes ago, when Shani said that he will share something about himself, so I personally feel that whenever I'm discussing leadership, I can talk about many leaders. Okay, but when I'm talking about family visioning, I will only talk about myself, because I really don't know about other families, and it doesn't give me any authority to talk about others. But about my own personal journey and my own family journey, I can share with you very honestly where we have succeeded and where we have failed. So anything that I am going to share with you about family visioning is going to be mostly out of my own experience. Okay. I completely acknowledge that family is a very personal affair. Okay. So from my side, absolutely no preaching. From my side, absolutely no telling that one should do and one should not do. Okay. I know it is a complete personal affair, and I respect the personal goals people have for their own family. My only push is that how can we make our goals more common goals? How can we make our vision a shared vision within the family? Okay. And for that, the starting point is both of us, the husband and wife. Okay. Children, definitely, but then in the second process. Okay. Though it is a personal affair, I feel that it is governed by certain fundamental principles. Yeah. And all families are governed by certain fundamental principles. Fundamental principles like equality, fundamental principles where everyone has the voice in the family affairs. Okay. And if we live in harmony with these natural laws, we definitely get more quality life. Okay. So for me, again, the question is not I'm having a good family or a bad family. Okay. No, I'm not even saying that I'm having a happy family or unhappy family, because all these things are fluctuating. They vary from time to time, from person to person. But yes, is my family life a quality family life, is a question that I would ask myself, and I would invite all of us to ask this question. And how do we create our family life into a more qualitative family life? Again, as we discuss industries, there are no ISOs, or there are no XYZ laws, or there are no measurement things for this. Okay. And maybe that therefore it makes it very interesting that how are we really creating a quality family for our own selves. So as we go ahead, I am often stuck with this story, and it comes back to me again and again and again. And the story is a simple story which we all have heard, and that is Alice in Wonderland. Okay. And in Alice in Wonderland, we all know that Alice is moving on a road, and as she's walking by, she's enjoying life, and there is nature around. She can smell the flowers. But then, as Alice is walking, at one point of time, this little girl, Alice, is thoroughly confused, because there is a point of time where, for the first time, the road gets divided into two roads. अब जब ये दो रास्तों में रोड चला जाता है, तो एलिस के सामने एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल खड़ा होता है कि यार अब मैं किधर जाऊं? Which road do I take? Because abhi tak she has had no problem. The road has been moving only in one direction. And at this juncture, Alice is confused, so she sits down, thinking that some guide will come, some Margadarshak will come. And for few hours, There is no passerby whom she could ask for any guidance. And then as it is getting dark, Alice has to take a decision. So she thinks she will toss the coin. और वो बहुत excited होती है कि चलो I will toss the coin heads, I will go this way because ultimately it's only two ways. So with all excitement, she puts her hand in the pocket, but unfortunately, there is no coin. She sits for some more time. And when it is completely dark, now Alice has to make a decision. So, in frustration, she thinks of a cat who is sitting there as her savior. वो सोचती है ये बिल्ली मेरी मदद कर सकती है, खुद को ही बोलती है how will the cat help, and then she thinks that oh, I will ask her which way do I go, and the cat will say meow, or she will do meow. Now either way, if she does meow, I will go this way, otherwise I will go this way. And she consoles herself and like बिल्ली को पूछती है where do I go, and in that story the cat is such a dumb cat that she doesn't even wag her tail, वो पूछ भी नहीं हिलाती है. But then she's a talking cat. So Alice to cat, which road do I go? And cat back to Alice, where do you want to reach? तेरे को कहाँ पहुँचना है? Alice, a little bit of scratching her head, responds, I have not decided that. वो तो मैंने तय नहीं किया है. So Alice to cat, where do I go? Cat back to Alice, तेरे को पहुंचना कहां पर है? Alice responds to cat, I have not decided it, and the cat comes with a sharp answer, it doesn't matter which road do you go. अगर तूने ये तय नहीं किया है कि तेरे को कहां पहुंचना है, तो कोई भी रास्ते से चले जाओ, it doesn't make a difference. Now, how I relate this story to family visioning. And I relate to it in this way, that in a family, from moment to moment, we are taking decisions. Every moment we are taking decisions. What breakfast to cook? Or like these friends of ours are playing golf. Should we go for golf or not to go for? What sports our kids should take? Which school kids should go? Okay. Now, all these questions need an answer. But then where will the answer come? And I feel a better answer can come if we have a clear goal. And therefore, I'm referring to this story that अगर हमारा एक फैमिली का विजन है कि 20 साल बाद, 15 साल बाद, 25 साल बाद, what type of a family do we envisage? What type of kids do we see? Then we can take decisions based on that vision. Is the crux of what I'm going to talk to you. अगर मैं उसको थोड़ा अलग तरह से बोलूं, तो whenever we think of building a house, okay, the moment we think that we should have our own house, what happens? I think the first thing that happens is we have a mental picture of some house, okay, either it is a flat roof or a multi-storied or some lawn outside, I don't know. We have some image of a house we want to have, and then we go to the architect, then we hire a civil engineer, then we start getting the bricks and cement and steel, and then we construct it. Okay, now we cannot straightway get bricks and we cannot straightway get steel without having this picture of what type of house do we want to have. And the same applies to a family. हमारे को कैसी family चाहिए, उसका हमारा, और when I say हमारा, हम दोनों का, particularly the husband and wife, हमारा goal या हमारा vision क्या है. I never had a family goal. Okay, so maybe in the next few minutes I would like to put in front of you how it benefited us, okay, and what was our goal and how it is helping us in the journey. Yeah, and we will definitely keep the interesting thought that Amar has given to us. Yeah, because to me questions are very very important. Okay, and I personally feel that all education begins with a question. Yeah, and I'm repeating this. So the type of question that Amar is asking is very very important. Okay, if there is no question, okay, there is no education. Yeah. We can mug many things, but then we don't learn anything. Okay, so please keep raising the questions. Okay, one of my dumbest question is why is a roti round? I keep asking this question to myself and others कि रोटी गोल क्यों होती है? And since I'm talking about family, I'm using the example of roti, okay, because we eat every day. Why is the roti round?
I guess because somebody decided to make it and everybody's
And
following it.
we
It
kept
doesn't
on
have to be
following.
round. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it
Okay.
doesn't have to be round.
Okay. Yeah. And interestingly, we all may have different ways of looking at it. Yeah. But in really speaking, it is not by default. Okay. Okay. It has a very, very scientific theory behind it, that it is the principle of heat. That the flame, whenever you put any flame on any tawa, okay, it's the heat, okay, and because of that circular heating process, roti is baked well, is cooked well, and it is cost effective. Okay, now there are two ways of looking at it. सब लोग बनाते आए हैं तो हम भी वैसे ही बना रहे हैं, but there is another way of it, that we question ourselves कि ऐसा ही क्यों बना रहे हैं, can we make it in a different way? And the same thing, same example I am using it for the family, कि जैसे चल रही है, जैसे हमारी बाकी फैमिली चल रही थी वैसे ही चलने दें, और we want to create a family differently. Yeah. Should we allow it to happen the way my parents had the family, or I want to create a family with considering some other factors in mind? Yeah. So let's start. Let's keep asking questions, because these are going to help. And though I may not have the right answer, but I think asking questions is a very very useful thing. So thanks Amar for that. Okay. Now coming back to it, about how it helped me, I would like to just share with you a bit about myself and my family. Okay. So this is our family. We call it Adim. Okay. And Adim means ancestral, old, and it has the abbreviations, because uh, my kids, my wife, everyone's name is there, and that is the reason why we call it Adim. Now, the reason why we address ourselves as Adim and why we have taken it as an identity, it came out of a vision. Okay, and the vision that we had is that in our family we should not be recognized just by my family or my wife's family. Okay, let's move, and because we are the four people who are creating something unique for ourselves, so that is a name which we would like to have. And my wife writes her surname, I write my surname, and our kids therefore they only write mother father's name. Okay, and even their passports are in this name. So even their passports write Disha Arvind Madhu, Dik Arvind Madhu. Okay. uh, my wife, she always had a great interest in gender, and she believed in sustainability. Okay, sustainable living. Okay, so this got into our family. Okay, and that is where I'm trying to say that how we both, okay, co-create something for our own selves. Okay, so she is a gender researcher, but she is strongly working in the field of sustainability. She grows her own vegetables. She's trying to grow some native uh, trees, okay, which are gone. uh, our daughter always had an interest in drawing. By the way, our both kids are homeschooled. Okay, they never went to school because again our vision was that they should. enjoy what they are doing. Okay. And our vision was that they should not work to earn money and then do their hobbies. Okay, so our vision was they should do what they enjoy doing and make money out of it. Okay, so there was a little twist there, that instead of making money and then pursuing your hobbies, do what you enjoy and earn money out of it. Okay, and that is where she came in, and this is something she does very passionately. She sketches. She's a fashion designer now, and she enjoys her life. Okay, and she earns for herself. um, we have a son who is a chef now, and right from childhood his interest was in kitchen. Okay, and therefore he became a chef. uh, our son is also an adopted child. Okay. In our family, when we were trying to build our family vision, we wanted, since we did not believe, rather we believed in complete secularism, we thought our family should have at least one member uh, about whose caste, religion, origin we don't know anything. Okay, so that is where we thought that our second child should be an adopted child. So he came from an orphanage. Okay. Now, what happened because of this vision that they should do what they enjoy doing? They focus their energies on something that they like to do, and at least at this juncture both of them are thoroughly enjoying their life. Um, our daughter in the process also did world's longest swim. Okay. In fact, she did her 81 kilometers in 12 and a half hours. Okay, and she had done all sorts of swims she did. And our son was into high board diving, so he was also a scholar uh, at the Sports Authority of India, and he used to do diving at 10 meters and 7.5 meters. Okay. Now, how the sport also came into this whole thing, I want to share with you. Okay, because it was, there was something in the vision that helped us to pursue certain things. Maybe I can just show you a quick glimpse of what it has done to her. I'm quickly sharing with you a 1.5 minute clip of my daughter's first marathon swim.
ये दिशा हे आपल्याला तिला त्या बाजूला घ्यायचंय बोटीच्या. हा गुड. घाबरू नको, घाबरायचं नाही. असं काहीतरी असतं पाणी. चला चला. चलो ये पुढे.
आणि ती अशीच किती वेळापासून तिला काही दिसतच नाहीये.
बॅग ठेवून ते बाजूला. हे घे मधू, बॅग ठेवून तिला घे. बॅग ठेव ना. घे.
व्हेरी गुड, शाबास. नाही नाही, मस्त मस्त.
When we were creating our own vision, one of the factors that we thought was that what sort of a health do we want to have in our family? Okay. And the type of health we want in the family would come out of certain decisions that we have to take. So we took up a common sport which we all can enjoy together. And so swimming pool was one such thing, and it helped us immensely because it was again, it was not that you have to compete into something, or you have to finish a marathon. It was not set like that. The goal was we need to have a healthy family. Now if we want to have a healthy family, what sort of sports kids can do which will keep them healthy? We have our own share of mistakes. I'm not saying that everything went off well. Okay. For example, if I can highlight one big mistake that we did was that since our daughter did all her big marathons, when she was 13, she had done almost all these big things. And when she wanted to go for British Channel and other bigger events, we realized and we learned at a much we learned it much later that sports person have their peak between 18 to 22 years. Okay, that is the time when they peak. Okay, and if you put them into sports before and they overdo it, there are chances that when they have to peak up, that time they are nowhere in on the scene. And in India, I can relate a lot with it. There are so many children who do extremely well in the younger age groups, but they are nowhere in Asian Games or Olympics. Okay, so we have had our own mistakes. But then here what I want to tell you is that just having this goal that we would like to have a healthy family. Now, the moment we say healthy family, how do we know that we are a healthy family? So that is where I feel we need to set up certain goals. For example, one of the goals that we have for our family is that on any given day, we should be able to run for 5 kilometers till the age of 65. Okay, so till we are 65, on any given day 5 किलोमीटर दौड़ने को बोला तो वो दौड़ते आना चाहिए, because that will tell us that okay, we are fine and fit. Again, I'm telling this from the Alice in Wonderland that every decision comes out of a vision. I was a bit hesitant to join a gym. Why? Because I'm 60 now. Okay, I'm 59. Okay, and I didn't want to go to gym because I travel 15-20 days a month because I'm a trainer. And I thought that paying 22,000 for a gym membership is stupid. Okay, why spend so much of money? And that time my wife brought in a very interesting thing that, Arvind, our vision is to have a healthy family. I said, yeah. And then she said, why are you not spending 22,000? What are you going to save it for? And then she gave me a very interesting school of thought. She said, at this time, if we fall ill, and if we go bedridden, this is a time when children are really flourishing in the career, or they might be getting married and they will have their spouses. And if we get bedridden, they will put all their energy in looking after us. So this is a time we need to be more healthy than what we were before. Okay, and I immediately took a decision that, come on, that 22,000 is too little as compared to my health. Okay. If I give you 1 minute and I request you that you both have to hold the pen together. Okay, you both will have to hold one pen together. Okay, and as soon as I say start, You will start, and in next 60 seconds, and I'm going to time you, I want you to draw a beautiful house. Okay, draw a house. Okay, fast, quickly. Okay, if I quickly ask you, Swati and Vidya, okay, तुम दोनों के दिमाग में जो घर था वैसा आ गया क्या इसके ऊपर? You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Yeah. Hello.
नहीं आया नहीं आया
नहीं आया. Okay. Okay. Fine. Ramya and Ravi, did you get it exactly the way you had, Ramya?
Yes. So yeah, we were able to draw something with a lawn. So probably that's how we wanted.
Okay. Okay. Bhaskar and Prashima.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's kind of broken and
Yeah, no, I'm not belaboring the point. Neither I want to conclude on anything. Only what I'm saying is that whenever we think of a house or a family, we both have an image in mind. Okay? और वो हम दोनों के दिमाग में एक अलग अलग सपना होता है घर को लेके, हमारी फैमिली को लेकर. अगर मैं आपको एकदम से पेन दे दूं और बोलूं you have to start drawing, but then you have not communicated कि हम दोनों को मिलकर उसमें क्या डालना है, तो chances क्या होंगे? तो normally there are three chances, there are three scenarios. One scenario is एक जो dominant हाथ है वो उसको खट खट ड्रॉ करने लगता है और दूसरे का हाथ खाली उसको लगा रहता है. ओके, दूसरा सिनेरियो ये है दैट दोनों के हाथ रुक जाते हैं. ओके, और एक इधर खींच रहा है, दूसरा इधर खींच रहा है. और कभी कभी तीसरा ये भी है कि बिकॉज वी आर अनेबल टू सॉर्ट इट आउट, वी से फॉरगेट इट यार, आई डोंट वांट टू ड्रॉ इट एट ऑल. Now, in a family, we get married when we are adults and we bring our own dreams in the marriage. And when we are taking everyday decisions in house, whether in parenting, whether in food, whether in anything for that matter, okay, if we don't have a shared goal, how are we going to take the decisions? And many times, if that doesn't happen, either it will be my way or it will be your way. And I personally feel instead of making it a my way or your way, how can we make it a higher way? I am going to quickly go ahead and share with you our dream of a house, and rather to some extent, even this is the philosophy with which we have lived in. So give me your 2 minutes and I would like to just put it in front of you how we visioned our home.
ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर, किसी को देखना हो घर तो पहले आके मांग ले मेरी नजर तेरी नजर.
ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर, किसी को देखना हो घर तो पहले आके मांग ले मेरी नजर तेरी नजर.
ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर,
ये घर बहुत हसीन है,
ये घर बहुत हसीन है,
ये घर बहुत हसीन है.
हमारे घर न आएगी कभी खुशी उधार की। हमारी राहतों का घर, हमारी चाहतों का घर, ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर, ये घर बहुत हसीन है।
I just wanted to tell you, or rather I just wanted to share with all of you here is that जब हम एक घर की संकल्पना करते हैं, ओके, मैं उसको उस फैमिली से जोड़ रहा हूं, और मुझे ऐसा बहुत लगता है कि वो बाय डिफॉल्ट हो रहा है या बाय डिजाइन हो रहा है. Okay, so the thrust that I am going to give here is that our family is getting created by design or by default. Okay, so when I talk about this song and the way it has, what happened with us is, because my wife strongly believed in sustainability, so we lived that life that way. Okay, so that vision of sustainability came into our house. So everything we did was recycle, reuse. We could do rainwater harvesting. Okay, now this is what was our vision. Okay, everyone may have a different vision, I am not saying it, but then small things, how they helped us is something I am trying to highlight. Like in this song, there's a very interesting line which says, "Hamare ghar na aayegi kabhi khushi udhar ki." Okay, where the idea was that we will not buy happiness on, so a very simple thing was no luxury items on loan. And that helped us immensely. Okay, for example, we came up with a very small interesting thing, that need, want and greed will be always a कुछ भी खरीदना है तो वो मापदंड होगा. Okay, do we need it, do we want it, or it is part of a greed. Okay, I will just give you one very interesting, which is very close to my heart. In 95, for the first time when we were trying to buy a car, our need was Maruti 800. Okay, and then I wanted a Zen, so I told my wife that nahi, I want to, and then she also said, okay, theek hai, we are not going to buy a car every day. So but then again she said, but in the need, want and greed, we need a 800, we don't need a Zen, because it was 92,000 more at that point of time. 800 was 2,60,000 and Zen was 92,000 more. But then, over a cup of tea we discussed, and she said, okay, chalo le lete. So we went and we booked a Zen. Again, after booking, when we were coming back, she again said, but yaar wo apni need nahi hai yaar, wo want mein ja raha hai. And then after a little bit of discussion, we said, हाँ यार वो want में जा रहा है. So we went back. Okay, बहुत शर्मनाक. It was very like, I was feeling very embarrassed to go to the showroom and tell the salesman that, look, please convert it back into an 800. But we did it. As soon as we converted back into 800, coming back, we stopped for a cup of tea, and then she said, now we had prepared ourselves for 92,000 more. I said, yeah. Then let us put that 92,000 somewhere now, because हमारी तैयारी तो थी ना 92,000 ज़्यादा डालने की. So you also take, I will also take, and together with our money, adding a little more, in 1,32,000, she bought a flat. She bought a plot of land in Nasik. You won't believe, friends, abhi 4 years ago, when our son was going to Canada for his education, and we were struggling to get his educational loan at that point of time, we sold that plot of land and we got 51 lakhs for that. Okay, and I'm talking about one decision in 1996 between a need and a want. And I can give you 100 different examples. Buying a mobile phone, whenever kids want to buy a mobile phone, one interesting debate that happens in the family is that it is your need or it is a want. And many times things immediately get into, we are able to take a decision. I'm not saying right or wrong, but then for us to take any decision, there is a vision, there is a goal. So coming back to my point, I am of the opinion that we should have a goal or a vision. And to do this, if we can think of some basic stupid questions, okay, like we were talking about roti goal kyun hoti hai, let us ask some very, very dumb questions to ourselves. And one of those dumb questions is, why did we get married?
It's still a question.
Very honest, when I got married, I never asked me this question. I never asked this question. I asked a lot of questions of how to get married, where to get married, but I never asked myself a question why I want to get married. There's a very beautiful golden circle formula someone has put and related to the schooling. He says that as a child, everyone teaches you what to study and how to study. But rarely anyone teaches you why should you study. Let's take an example of geography or maths or English. Okay, what to study, how to study, but why should I study history? And the same thing applies for me in wedding. It was how I'm going to get married, where I'm going to get married, but the why was missing. But when it came to kids, we were clear. Okay, second kid, not first kid. Because in most families, marriage hone ke baad, within 1 year, the child comes by default. I have come across few couples who really plan when do we want to have a child. And believe me, when you are getting a child has a huge impact on careers of both of us. Because as soon as the baby comes, घर में एक जन को रुक जाना पड़ता है. और कई बार जो घर में रुक जाता है वो घर में ही रुक जाता है, वो करियर में पीछे चला जाता है. Okay, now I don't want to go back on anything that has already happened because there's no point going back. But now at this juncture, we need to ask ourselves another question. Okay, why I got married? Fine. Why I had children? Forget it. But why I want to be in this family? Because if this why becomes clear, from today, all our actions will become objective oriented. That doesn't mean we have to compromise on the fun part of it. That doesn't mean that we have to get too bogged down with our goals, because we are not in these goals because we are competing with someone. It's not that meri team ko teri team se jeetna hai, my family has to win against. No, we are not talking about that. We are only talking about what type of a family do we want to have. And when we are talking about it, we are talking about 5 important things. And what are these 5 important things for me in a family is, one is there should be a money goal or a property goal, fair enough. But there has to be a very clear health goal. Okay, a very, very clear. There has to be an education goal, not a degree goal. कि हमारा हमको किस चीज में मजा आता है पढ़ने में. Okay, so there has to be an education goal. There has to be a pleasure goal. कि हमारा pleasure का goal क्या है? And friends, I'm telling you, for our family, I'm saying you, our pleasure goal is helping us a lot. हमारा pleasure goal ये है कि we would love to have pleasure without spending too much of money. Okay, so our family trips are amazing. We go with tents, we park our tents on petrol pumps or on dhabas and freak out. Okay. Our pleasure goals are that 2 of us every year have to go. So we go on treks, and it's all part of the goal. Okay. Now, again, without belaboring the whole thing, what I feel is that family can happen by design or by default. बाय डिफॉल्ट भी लाइफ रोज चलने वाली है, लेकिन रोज डिसीजन हमको लेने ही पड़ते हैं। इन प्रोसेस में अगर हमारे डिसीजंस किसी गोल से अगर आएंगे तो मे बी वी विल हैव मोर क्वालिटी लाइफ, इज समथिंग दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू पुट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू। एंड टू डू दिस there are 5 important pillars which are important, okay, जिसमें एक पिलर है फैमिली का which is called know and grow, okay। For example, अगर हम दोनों married हैं for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, can you quickly communicate with your spouse that आप उनकी पार्टनरशिप में क्या ग्रो हुए हो? Can you communicate, can you tell your spouse immediately कि आप में क्या ग्रोथ हुई है आपके पार्टनर की वजह से? लेकिन अगर हम पार्टनरशिप में हैं and if we are not growing with each other, then what is the partnership all about? And it is not that we are not growing, we are growing, but many times we don't plot our growth because of each other. And मुझे बहुत लगता है कि know and grow is one pillar. The second pillar that we discuss in our family visioning process is love and sexuality. Okay, because हम सब कहते हैं कि I love you, I love you, I love you, but कभी कभी सामने वाले को लव दिखता ही नहीं है। Now it happens because there are different love languages. Okay, so in our program we plot our love language. किसी के लिए touch love language होती है, किसी के लिए लव लैंग्वेज होती है कि माय पार्टनर विल से हे यू आर नाइस, यू आर गुड लुकिंग, यू डू दिस वेल, बट किसी के लिए होता है यू डोंट टॉक ऑल दिस, यू हेल्प मी, एक्ट ऑफ सर्विस होता है। नाउ देयर आर 5 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लव लैंग्वेजेस, वी नीड टू नो ईच अदर्स लव लैंग्वेजेस। ओके, सेक्सुअलिटी इज अनदर एरिया जिस पे डिस्कशन ही नहीं होता। मोस्ट फैमिली सेक्स हैपेंस इन द नाइट, इन द डार्क, and there is absolutely little discussion on so many facets of it. So in our pillars we have this discussion, we do questionnaires because I think it is important. We also have a very important pillar on feedbacking. Amongst the two of us, हमारे दोनों का, you know, someone has a habit of putting the towel on the bed and the other person gets irritated, but is there a feedback on it? In many families there is silence or violence, huh? Means कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है तो silent, मत बोलो, चुप रहो, and one day it becomes unbearable and then it comes like boom 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 boom, it is violence. Sexuality में भी feedback बहुत important है। Yeah, most of us don't know our odor, we don't know our smells. Okay, another very important pillar is parenting, because we say parenting with a purpose, because it is not a contest that father is good or a mother is good, it's a responsible parenting. तो उसके कुछ fundamental principles can we apply, can we come to common terms on it? Okay, so there are different pillars through which we go, and then towards the end of 5 weeks हम अपने लिए एक विजन चार्टर करते हैं कि ओके दिस इज द डायरेक्शन वी वांट टू डू। और ये विजन कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विजन वाला नहीं है कि दीवार पे चिपका दिया, नो, इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट, इट इज को क्रिएटेड बाय बोथ ऑफ अस।